Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
We just saw Wicked.
Ooh.
We went to the Fandango Amazon Prime screening on a Monday night before it opens later on this week.
Yep.
We have lots of thoughts. We're going to get right to them. We're going to save our overall rating for later, for towards the end, after we've done talking about everything.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to be fair to it.
I have my tissues because I'm not sure if I can talk about it without crying.
I promise you she won't. You will see tears.
Oh, I promise you I can do this.
Aha.
Okay, so we just got out a half hour ago. We grabbed some quick food. We ate and had to eat some feelings. and so here we go.
Okay.
Where do we start?
I don't know, but I'm exhausted.
First off, we're not going to spoil anything. If you haven't seen the Broadway show or you haven't, obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, we're not going to spoil anything. But we will be talking about as much as we can without. I have seen the show twice. I listen to the soundtrack nonstop all the time.
Yeah.
He's seen it once. He didn't remember anything about it,
Nope.
and this whole movie was a complete.
It was like a new experience for me. It really was. Now, I generally, I have one of the worst memories that we know, and this was no exception. I did not remember. I remember the songs. I knew the songs. I recognized the songs.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
The storyline.
The storyline.
I get, because if you're seeing it on the stage for the first time, I can understand where maybe it's a little harder to follow. But so we were able to see this on IMAX, which was
Holy
a treat.
cow.
I'm gonna start there with kind of the overall look of it.
Okay.
First off, John Chu, how dare you? And that just is an overall how dare you on the whole freaking thing. Secondly, you took this little world that was created on one stage that was always beautiful and lovely and steampunkish and green and wonderful, and he blew it up into an entire real world that we get to immerse ourselves in. The colors are brilliant. Everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to look, or the way we knew it from The Wizard of Oz, whichever way you want to look at it.
It's very complimentary to The Wizard of Oz.
It's gorgeous. The way it looks, perfect. Costumes,
Yeah.
There were a couple times that either Elphaba everything that Glinda wears is just gorgeous. Everything, Elphaba's dresses and her school outfits were just to die for. I want them to sell all of them, and I will buy them all. Costumes, amazing. Hair, amazing on everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's all like this very steampunk. I heard someone say that it reminded them of Hunger Games type styling. I feel like Wicked came first, and I'm actually not sure which. But so hair was amazing. Yeah. Makeup.
Yeah.
There were so many times I kept looking at Cynthia Erivo going, did they CGI the green on her? Because the makeup was so flawless.
Yeah. And I'm not very familiar with her. I had to ask you what else she's been in and stuff. And I don't think I've seen her in anything. I thought she was actually green.
But it's true. It looks natural. They put, and then they have all the makeup on her to make her just look as gorgeous as possible. And she does. She looks gorgeous in this. And so does Ariana. So I just wanted to get those sorts of technical things out of the way. Same thing, technical, the shots that John Chu does in this movie, whether it's during a song where the choreography is also out of this world and just perfect for the movie.
Yeah.
Or just these shots that he envisioned somehow. I did not see them coming. I don't even know how to talk about it.
The dude has just such a great vision and a great eye, and there were no missteps directorially. I don't think there were any missteps.
No.
Yeah.
Everything was spot on. Where there is CGI, it's perfect. Again, it's so little to at least. Well, it's not.
It's not.
But it feels like there's hardly any CGI in it because it just feels so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything about it without saying something. So I'm going to be careful.
Okay.
Whew,
now let's get to the girls.
Oof. I'm going to let you collect yourself.
Yeah, so everyone, I look like crap because I, on purpose, chose to not wear any makeup to this thing because I knew I was going to be crying throughout the whole thing. So
It was a good call.
I apologize. So this is no makeup plus 2+ hours of crying. So
I too decided not to wear makeup tonight.
yeah, but
because
you also needed tissues.
I did.
So,
I teared up several times, and one, it was like a new experience for me. So I didn't know it was coming, and there were several. Well, there were a couple places where I teared up that surprised you.
yes.
So it just reaches out and grabs you, man.
Yeah.
I know of Ariana Grande. I'm not really a fan of hers, but nothing against her. It's just not my style. But I know she's bigger than. We just heard it tonight. She has more Instagram followers than Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So which I found surprising that anybody does, but whatever. She was great. She was fantastic.
She's wonderful in this role. She's funny.
Yeah.
She's, and the stories that have been going around in this whole press tour is that when she saw the show, she was 10 and she knew she was going to play Glenda at some point in her life. And it totally makes sense. Her voice is perfect for it. Her look is perfect for it, and her sense of humor and timing, comedic timing, was perfect for it.
And she was fantastic. She was great.
She's wonderful.
And she would have really stood out if she hadn't have been right next to Cynthia Erivo, who, likewise, I was unfamiliar with. Woman is just unbelievable. The notes, her voice. I'm getting a little misty right now. It was so unbelievable. There were several moments where she just hits you. I mean, it just hits different coming from her. I can't say enough good things about her. She deserves all good things that come to her because she is just fantastic.
Yeah. And, when you think about like the Oscar race or whatever, I do hope that both of them are nominated.
They should be.
They should both be nominated. Cynthia will win. But when you go back to the Tonys, like with the originals, Kristen and Idina Menzel were both nominated, and it's one of those things of like, maybe neither one should win, or maybe, but in this particular movie, there's nothing that the movie is the two of them, and part of
by design.
Like I said in our merch video, I worship at the altar of Cynthia Erivo. I think she's just perfection, and she's gorgeous and lovely, and I want to say carries this movie, but it is the two of them. But she does have enough. What?
It's really hard to not.
The meat is in Elphaba's role.
Well, yes,
and
obviously.
So you.
It's her journey,
right?
And honestly, I think, we'll see what happens when it comes to Oscar time, but I could easily see Ariana Grande winning if it wasn't for Cynthia Erivo, because she's just
right.
I don't think she makes it seem so effortless.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, you forget about the green, and you're just looking into the soul of this person that has been so.
Yeah, she's just really, really amazing. Again, I can't say enough good things about her.
The role of Elphaba is a very special role for a lot of people. And what was wonderful about the screening was seeing all these people come in. Some came in costumes. A lot of people just had T-shirts on like me. And you can kind of tell, some people are choosing their pinks and some are in their greens. And
more were in their greens.
And there's a lot of others who, when you feel like you're another side, you get Elphaba. So
you got tissues right there.
I know, I'm so stupid. So it's one of those roles that I think so many people relate to because so many people feel that way. In the autistic community, it's a role that a lot of autistic people relate to because you feel so alone most of your life, and then you find out that your powers are powerful, and you get so excited. And so if you know the story of that, of her just coming to the university and being told that you're special versus being different, and being told that she has something very powerful. And those moments in this movie that Cynthia chose to show through her acting, and then whoever was writing this and John Chu's decisions of making those moments very special. You know, you could see it happen when she realized she wasn't alone, which was a huge part of this. Then when she realized she was going to have to be alone, when they use some of the worst words that you've always felt the worst about yourself, and then they're using them against you, that it could possibly be true.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to just spit this out without bawling, but there are so many moments that if you know Elphaba's story, they were heightened a million times in this movie, and that puts you on this emotional roller coaster. If you don't know her story, it appears you still get on this roller coaster, and I think that's because of Cynthia's ability to wear her soul outside of her body somehow.
And here's the beautiful thing about this: John Chu does such a great job with the movie. The story, you know, the screenplay, the directing, and these performances. You don't have to have seen anything before
Right.
to
No,
follow
you
this
do not.
along.
Yeah.
It is brilliantly set up, and everything just builds on itself.
Now, it obviously wouldn't hurt if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, because in the second half, so again, if you don't know, we're getting this in two parts. So the second part comes out next year, and the second part really ties into The Wizard of Oz. But there is a little bit of that in the first half as well. So it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Did it feel that long
No.
to you?
So, and here's the thing: I'm always railing against movies going too long. I recognize that Defying Gravity was
The end.
the end of
Yeah.
this movie, because it's the first part. That's where the intermission is in the screen in the theater show.
Yeah.
So I knew we were there, and I was like, "Oh, wow, okay."
Yeah.
It kind of snuck up on me. I knew time was going by, but I wasn't negative. It was,
Right.
you know, it was so visually pleasing.
Yeah.
And I found myself just waiting for the next time Cynthia Erivo was on screen and singing, that I just stuck with it to get
That's
there.
awesome.
And it was,
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you'll forget.
Well, I mean, I have to give props to the male of the species and just say, I now understand what the hullabaloo is about Jonathan
There's
Bailey.
a hullabaloo.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey is pretty.
He's oozing charisma.
Yeah,
Riz, as the kids would say. He's got Riz all over. Yeah.
I don't know that, but yes. Yeah.
He's and he always, obviously, if you watch Bridgerton, if you watched the Matt Bomer show that he was with, you know that. But to then watch him sing and dance on top of all of it, holy
He's got a good
moly.
voice.
He's fantastic.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
It's a complete package.
He's
very complimentary to those two.
absolutely
To the two principals.
Yeah.
It's just he's up to the task.
Yeah.
Which a lot of male musical
been,
stars
forgotten.
may not have been.
Yeah.
Because you really gotta to hold your own. And that leads me to one of my final thoughts for this. Good luck to whoever plays Elphaba and Glinda next.
No, I don't think. I mean,
Oh yeah.
because again, I feel like the movie is very close to the stage show, very close, but also different enough that when you still go and watch it at a theater and watch the stage show, it's not. It's okay. It's
Sure.
okay.
But what I'm saying is, who is Elphaba on the stage show?
Right now, I don't know.
Who was? Idina Menzel, right?
Yeah, but there's
Okay.
been like 30 since
I
then.
understand. Does a non-theater person know who the other 29 were? No, it's Idina Menzel.
Oh.
So now, to the casual observer, which I represent, you've got Idina Menzel, and now you've got Cynthia Erivo. I know I've seen Idina Menzel enough to know how she is, and she's really good. Pretty spectacular in her own right. You're telling me somebody's going to come along and do a better job than Cynthia Erivo?
No,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that the people who are in the touring company or on Broadway aren't still fantastic.
Understood,
So,
but there's going to be those comparisons.
Yes.
Right or wrong, it's
I
not
get
fair.
that.
It's
Yeah.
wildly unfair. But that's the next person is going to have to
Yeah.
endure that.
So
That's my point.
my thing too, back to the pacing of it, was a lot of times I have an issue with musicals where like they stack all the songs in the front and then you don't have any forever. This was very kind of
Yeah.
like they spaced it out where there was a
Yeah.
song evenly
Yeah,
throughout. It
you're
really
right.
felt that way.
You're right,
I was
'cause
very happy about that.
that's a downfall of a lot of stage musicals translated to movies is
Yeah.
there's these long gaps of dialogue or acting, which, where did that come from? And you start to get to the point where you're like, okay, this has
Where's the
been,
next song?
come on,
Yeah.
this is terrible. Or
Yeah.
not terrible, but we're starting to plod a little bit.
Yeah.
And this was really well paced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Everyone else was great in this. Jeff Goldblum, like we said, Jonathan Bailey, the girl, and I don't know her name, but I will. The girl who plays Nessa Rose, she's good. She has a much bigger role in the second part. The kid who's playing Buck is adorable, and he'll have a bigger role. I think, and we kind of talked about this.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, but I think the weakest link that I found was Michelle Yeoh.
We agreed on it.
And I love her, and I think
Yeah.
she's wonderful and everything. But in this one, it felt like she was just the weakest link. And doesn't mean she's bad or anything, just if you were ranking them, that's
Yeah,
all.
her song was a little weird, or her singing it was
It's
a little.
it's usually kind of spoken anyways.
Is it?
But,
Well,
you know.
she Shatnered the heck out of it.
Shatnered.
But yeah,
But it was- yeah.
even her
It was just weird. It was
her acting was a little bit. It was
Stiff.
like it was
Yeah.
like we've seen Michelle Yeoh in enough things now to be like, oh, Michelle Yeoh, and then it was in this. It's kind of like,
yeah.
yeah, that was Michelle Yeoh, but was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, no
disrespect.
disrespect. We love her.
Love
It's
her.
just, it did, if I had to find something negative about it, that would be it. And it's not even really a negative. It's just she wasn't up to everyone else. There are definitely cameos. Check it.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open for cameos.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. The choreography is wonderful. There's a lot going on. So this is Monday. We have tickets again on Thursday, and you are okay seeing it again.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Okay.
I'm good seeing it again.
So I originally got the Thursday tickets, and then this advanced screening came out through Amazon, and so I was like, "We're seeing it twice." What?
No, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt.
I think on Thursday it'll be interesting to see if we change our minds at all, but I might be able to see it through normal eyes instead of
No.
eyes filled with tears. I'm not going to be as
No.
bad the second time around.
Oh,
It was just.
It'll be interesting because you know what's coming.
Right.
So
but I still don't know, because so much of what causes me to cry a lot is when people sing, and hearing Cynthia and her different intonations and her interpretation of some of these songs. Now, a lot of them are not changed much. Just every once in a while there's a little whoop, and it would just like, and I go, and so I still don't have that in my head. So that'll be new still, is hearing her, The Wizard and I mean, I was gone. I was gone.
The end of Defying Gravity.
Defying Gravity. I mean, you guys, you have no idea. You just have no idea what you're in for. I mean, John Chu, it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I can't even, nothing that I ever would have dreamt of. I mean, you see things, and we've seen clips, and you think, and it's just,
you've seen the Target commercial, so you think you know how it's how it's gonna sound.
it's the emotions and everything that's happening.
I don't know.
And everyone knows that's the moment in the stage show, right? In the stage show when Defying Gravity comes out, you get chills, you cry, all that. This is heightened 100 times more than that. And it didn't miss. It did not miss. He knew what he was doing. He knew he had to hit certain marks.
Yeah, and it just occurred to me, maybe the best way to say it is, he set her up, Cynthia Erivo, for success, and she absolutely crushed it. absolutely
Now,
crushed it.
I'm not willing to leave Ariana out because
No disrespect
she
to Ariana.
also
Yeah.
crushed her part of Defying Gravity, which is a big deal.
Yes.
And hold on, I'm really just gonna cut all this out. The bond between the two of them, and if you've watched the press stuff, you've seen it. But that's the most gorgeous part about the show and this whole story is the bond of these two women and the support, almost undying support that they have. And Glinda, who would normally be this judgmental, stereotypical thing, is constantly at her side and is constantly holding her hand and encouraging her. And so in those moments of Defying Gravity where she's doing her thing and Ariana or Glinda is still going, I hope you're happy. It's not I hope you're happy. It's this thing.
It's genuine.
It's a genuine.
You can tell it's genuine.
Female on female, just sister bonding love that so many, I assume so many women know.
But it's on so many levels. You sense it between the characters. But what also comes through is the actors. The two people involved have a genuine, real strong kinship and real strong affection and love for each other. And you can't help but notice that.
Yeah.
And it hits different.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous story. I mean, period. It's a gorgeous story. Anyone could watch this and get something from it and take something home with you that you relate to because there are so many different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just and I cannot wait for the second part. He doesn't remember anything about the show, and I'm not going to spoil it for him. I want him to experience that in a year, just as fresh eyes, and I don't want to ruin it for him because it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I now have no doubt that second half is gonna blow us away.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can't imagine. So what was your favorite part? Without spoiling any. Sorry. I knew it.
This is ridiculous. The Oz Dust Ballroom scene when the dance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it for me.
But
too.
it's even hard to really. Yeah.
You have to see it. You have to experience it.
And it is part of the show, as a stage show as well, but not like it's done here. It's again the choices that were made with the music and how it's shot it took it to a completely different level than it is on stage.
And I'm sorry, but Cynthia Erivo's ability to let sometimes the slightest bit of emotion through in her face, in her eyes.
Yeah.
And then showing more emotion is just superb.
And part of the loveliness of this, obviously, is right on stage. You can't see up close.
Yeah,
and, so you are right there with them and able to experience the whole thing. Do you have a favorite song? Can you remember?
So there's two. Obviously, Defying Gravity. Yeah, I've heard that before, but this was so much more.
You felt it this time.
I felt it this time. And then that kind of groove song.
There's a groove song?
Yeah. When Jonathan Bailey kind of came along and
Dancing Through Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. That had a good hook to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So
good stuff.
Rating.
Oh man. We're doing through 10?
Yep.
There. I can't imagine this being any better. This hit me. I was into it for all 2 hours and 40 minutes. I laughed. I cried. I didn't get a T-shirt, but that's the only thing.
But we'll get you one.
Yeah.
Now you need one.
Yeah.
You're in the sisterhood now.
I'm gonna give it a 10. I mean, it was just.
I'm giving it a 10 as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It seems so obvious for me. I just love musicals, and of course, it's just gonna be a 10.
Well,
but it's a 10. Like it deserves the 10. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, it's a 10. This is a 10, and it's bursting at the seams to get out go higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it again on Thursday. And if anything changes, we'll film another one. If we're still the same, then there's no reason to redo this. So, so with that being said, please subscribe. Because we do have this, but also next week we've got Moana 2 and other reviews that are going to be coming out. But just in case we do have to do another one for Wicked, you might want to subscribe and see if we follow up with any changes.
Yeah, like the video if you like this. If you're still
Yes.
here, I guess you probably liked it.
And have you seen Wicked yet?
Yeah.
Are you going to see it this week? And if you do go see it, please come back and tell us what you thought and what your favorite moments of the movie were. Because
leave us a comment.
I think we're both going to be talking about this for quite some time.
Yeah.
This was an experience. It wasn't just a movie. This was. I don't even want to go to bed. Like I just want to keep replaying this in my head.
It's 10:30.
Yeah.
We're both fried. This is an hour and a half past both our bedtimes, and we're still.
I'm still like ready.
Giddy with excitement.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it.
That's about the highest praise we can give. Is it's 10:30 and we're not even mad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time on Our Charm Midlife.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.